Hey everyone, Cody here with Process 34. Just wanted to update everyone on what I've been doing. I've posted content here and there, but mainly it's just been, pictures, text here and there, nothing of a lot of substance. And for that, I apologize. But also at the same time, I've been teaching myself how to do it and do it properly. By no means have I mastered this, or do I even feel that I'm that great at it, but I'm trying and going to share my process as I go along with it. So, with that being said, this will be my intro episode, my first podcast episode, be on my YouTube channel as well. And I just wanted to kind of share with you guys what to expect, and also kind of the backstory with Process 34. So, over the last few months, I've really been contemplating what I want to do next with Process 34, where I want to go with it. And I just keep thinking podcast or some sort of YouTube video or just something to, I guess, be able to express myself and to express others, bring it to light what people's processes are, what people are doing and trying and doing in their everyday life just to be better people and get through life. So, um, anyways, with that being said, I've been slowly training and learning everything I possibly can about the equipment, the tech, the just everything to go with it. And it is not easy by any means, but here we go. What better way to learn than to just do it and see what happens and keep practicing and growing. So, there's a lot of reasons why I wanted to do a podcast, and to learn how to create this other type of content, but or other forms of content, I should say. But the main reason was just to be more personal and engage with you all on I guess, a more intimate level. Um, I started Process 34 almost a year ago. The original concept was a 30-day challenge in the form of a journal. Um, and it was just designed to take a daily inventory of your mind, body, and spirit and something you overcame. I actually have a copy of the journal here. And, nothing crazy, just simple little workbook. You fill it out on a daily basis. And the goal of it was to share it with another person and hold yourself accountable. Hopefully they do it along with you. They hold themselves accountable and see where you are in 30 days. I originally started it kind of just for myself as a just trying to challenge to myself for 1 week. I said I noticed I knew from my own past experiences that when something wasn't going right for me, there were a lot of roadblocks in my life that I would often feel sorry for myself and throw this pity party. And then at the end of the day, it was just, or at the end of the week, whatever, it would escalate into this huge mountain that I just could not get over. And then I would feel sorry for myself. And then after wallowing in my own self pity, I would realize, well, or someone would ask me, or I would ask myself, what have I done for myself at all? Beside, something that's positive, I should say. What have I done for myself in a positive manner in these last few weeks where I've gradually just felt worse and worse every single day? And every single time I would answer that question with nothing at all or very, very little. So I told myself that I wanted to be able to dedicate 1 week, just at least 1 week, to getting better as a person and see what happens. So I wanted to feed my mind, feed my body, feed my spirit. Excuse me. So, with that being said, with as far as my mind goes, something I've always enjoyed doing is reading books, especially like if I was having a hard time in life, I'd read a self-help book. I'd read something that would be beneficial to my situation or just be beneficial to my well-being. So any sort of self-help book really, but I always for some reason gravitated towards books about mindfulness. I really enjoyed reading. I really enjoyed the idea of it, the concept of it, and it always just made me feel so much better whenever I try to practice on being in the present state of mind, in the present moment, and not worrying about the present or not worrying about the future or dwelling about the past. Um, it always makes me feel better. It makes me appreciate things more. It makes me more grateful for the situation, what I have, who I have, whatever it may be. Um, so that was pretty easy. I told myself I'd read one chapter every day for 1 week, see what happens. So then I know, on to feeding my spirit. I knew that that was going to be a challenge no matter what, because it's always been a struggle for me. And the struggle for me is, I guess, trying to figure out what being spiritual was or is. And after battling it for so long, trying to figure out what it was, I just kind of simplified it and told myself that for me, being spiritual is just trying to be a good person. It's just trying to do the right thing. It's being compassionate. It's being loving. It's being forgiving as often as I can, as hard as it may be sometimes. But just doing those things, doing service work, being helpful to strangers, just anything, just being a good human being feeds my spirit to the utmost. When I do any sort of charity work, when I know that I've helped somebody, especially somebody in need, or if I've just went out, if I've just helped somebody without knowing or with knowing that I was getting nothing in return, any sort of tangible thing in return, to me, there's no better feeling in the world. I absolutely love it. I try to give back and help as much as I can, donate anything at all, just whatever it may be. It's very important to me, and it's something that definitely 100% feeds my spirit. Um, so I started to, I want to say that day, I made a donation to something. I can't remember, but kind of just to jumpstart it to get me in moving in the right direction. Then I told myself I'm going to just every day for the next week, I'm going to write down one thing or multiple things that I'm grateful for. Which always, always, always helps your spirit because you realize what you have. You realize how blessed you are. You can, no matter what level you're at, if you just make a gratitude list or just simply just write down one thing you're grateful about or grateful for, then you usually have a realization of what you have and you feel blessed and thankful. And obviously that's great for your spirit. So I tried that for a week and the rest is history. So on the physical part was pretty easy for me. I've always been athletic, so you know, I already knew that whenever I play a sport, whenever I compete, whenever I work out, whenever I exert any sort of physical energy, I always feel amazing afterwards. Um, it always is a great de-stressor. It just it helps me in so many ways, but more than anything, it clears my mind. So it's not only is it physical for me, it helps my mind too. It helps my mental. It clears my thoughts, releases endorphins. It's just very beneficial. So for me, it was, and also, I'm completely 100% obsessed with golf. So I was able to incorporate golf into the physical. One thing I told myself is if I golf, during this week, I'm going to walk every single time, no matter what. So 9 holes, 18 holes, whatever it may be, I was going to walk. I was going to exert more physical energy and make it more of a physical task instead of just riding around in a cart to the ball, jump out, hit it, jump back in, whatever. Um, so, and also to go to the gym or just work out at home 3 days during that week and see what happens. So that first week, once it concluded, it was obviously I felt better. I didn't feel amazing. I didn't feel like everything was okay and everything was 100%, but I felt better. Felt just a little bit better. So, it's kind of it's not common sense. I don't want to say that, but it's just, it can be as simple as that. It doesn't have to be so, over the top. Spirituality. A lot of people get hung up on spirituality as, they want to tie it together with religion. And it can be, but it doesn't have to be. It can be whatever you want it to be as long as you can feel it in your soul. Are you feeding your soul in a positive way? Yes or no? If the answer is yes, then keep doing it. It doesn't matter what it is or who thinks what. It does not matter. It's whatever works for you. Um, so, yeah, anyways, I got done with the first week and thought to myself, like, yeah, I want to stick with this and this works and we'll see what happens. So it was either that day or the next day, I had a conversation with two separate conversations, one with my nephew and one with my best friend. And both of them shared with me they were having a hard time. They were going through a hard time. Nothing too insane. It was just, dealing with life's issues and struggling with it, trying to figure out a way to cope. And I obviously could relate. So I shared with both of them what I've been doing for the last week. And I actually asked them if they would be interested in doing a 30-day challenge with me. And the one thing that or I should say, one of the main reasons why I asked them so quickly was because I knew what works for me to keep me, I guess, motivated to keep working on myself, to keep getting better, to keep trying, just any of that, is to be accountable. Because once things start getting a little bit better, once things start improving a little bit more, once I start hurting a little bit less, I want to stop. I get comfortable. Things are better than they were, so let's just stop. So I knew I did not want to do that. So I wanted to see if somebody else wanted to do this with me so I could keep it going and, keep this feeling alive, keep this feeling of hope. So they both agreed right away. And so we did it. I quickly came up with the name Process 34 because obviously this was my process. I realized that this was how I got through pretty much a lot of the things that have happened to me in my life. I've always reverted back to, what am I doing for myself? Am I doing anything beneficial for myself at all? And if the answer was no, then it was, let's get to work. If the answer is yes, and I've done everything possible and I'm still feeling, the way I'm feeling, then I guess, seek alternative help. This isn't working, whatever it may be, but that's never happened for me. It's always been, the answer's always been no. I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So, I already knew this was my process, and this is how I process life. So that name, process, that word, it just stuck with it immediately. I liked it. So 34, the number 34 is a special number to me. It represents the number of minutes my son Benjamin was alive. And the reason I wanted to use that was just because it's just a very meaningful number to me and my family, but also when Benny was here with us, when he passed away, he donated his heart valves, helped save lives, and to me, it was like, obviously, a lot of people wouldn't say that was, anything too extraordinary, but to me, it was, and to me, it taught me how valuable life is. And to make the most of it while you're here. He was here for such a short amount of time. And in that short amount of time, he did more for others than I could ever even dream of, and that's huge. So it made me want to try to help as many people as I could. It really lit a fire. That is one huge positive that I learned from this whole experience. Obviously grieving has gone on forever. It's gotten better, but it's like there are so many positives that I've learned over the course, over the last few years, since that event, that it's like, instead of just dwelling on it, like I said, I've taken it I've accepted it for what it was, and I've tried to pick it apart and find some positives with it, within it. And I have, and it's worked for me, and I ran with it. And I just try to keep that light around that subject and that number. And whenever I see that number in public or wherever it may be, it always just gives me that feeling. It's special. It has an aura about it. So anyways, this is a very special project to me. So I wanted that number to be included. So process 34. So anyways, we decided to do the challenge for 30 days. All three of us did it. All three of us immediately agreed that it worked and that we wanted to continue doing it. So still to this day, see, so a little over 11 months now, we have been sharing our process, our daily inventory, almost every single day. It's just, it's impressive, and it warms my heart to see two people that mean so much to me on the ride with me, and not only on the ride with me, but it being beneficial and helpful to them as well. So, yeah, it made me realize that maybe I could help people. Maybe there's something to this. More than anything, it's just something I'm passionate about, and I hope it does help. as many of you as possible. I hope this does become something where people can rely on it. But if not, it doesn't. To me, it's something I'm very passionate about, something that works for me. And I just, there's so many people, even people I know, there's people within this community that are just good hearted, good natured people that are doing good things, that are trying their hardest. Life is so hard. And, it's just a lot of times it seems absolutely impossible just to crack a smile. But, we do. And I'm evidence of it myself. I've been through so many tragedies in my life and so many ups and downs, and I'm still here. I'm still trying to smile, and I'm still trying my hardest every single day to be the best version of myself I can be. Do I fail a lot? Yes, absolutely. Almost all the time. But I keep trying, and I'm going to keep trying, and I hope that others will try with me, and who knows? Maybe it'll be a little sliver of change in this, what seems to be often dark world. So, we all need to help each other. So this is me trying to help. This is me helping myself just as much as it's helping you. So anyways, I would like to, with this podcast, the goal is to share other stories with you, share other people's experiences with you, have guests that have gone through tragedies, have processed it, have fought through it, are still here. They were able to turn a tragedy into a triumph. People that are people in businesses that are, beneficial for our mind, body, and spirit, to spotlight them, to show you as an audience what there is, what kind of outlets there are for us all, especially people that are struggling with certain aspects. Like, what do I do for my mind? What do I do for my body? What do I do for my spirit? They're obviously, I can list a few things, but the goal with the podcast and the show is to just physically show you, people, places, and things that are doing it every day. And if you are fearful or you just don't know, hey, check it out. This, it's just as simple as this. I started doing yoga with my wife, and it's amazing. It's very hard. It's very, very challenging at times, but, anybody who does yoga on a daily basis, shout out to you, because you're amazing. It's a sheer testament of your physical strength, your spiritual strength, and your mental strength. And when you get done with it, even if it kicks your ass, you're going to feel good. You just feel really, really good after it. So I know I started doing that. I don't do it as often as I should or I want to. But when I do, I love it. So, just things like that, it doesn't have to be, you got to do 50 things in one day. You can just do one thing, and that feeds all three. Or maybe you don't want to feed all three all day. I don't care how you do it. It's just, this is what works for me. And I'm going to share other people's stories and their testimonies, I guess, along the ride, upcoming shows, and, we'll be able to explore even more ideas, even more options. So I'm excited. I really am. I'm excited. As you can tell, I'm, I have a couple notes here, but this is very unscripted, very raw. I'm learning all of this as I go on the fly. 2 weeks ago, I didn't know anything hardly about any of this. So bear with me, but I hope I hope everyone gets a little something out of it, as much as, if not as much as I am, just a little bit. And I'm so excited to share other stories. I'm excited to spotlight other people and businesses. And yeah, I'm just really excited about this. I'm very passionate about this project, and creating content like this for Process 34 has kind of been a dream since about a month in. And I've slowly, very slowly been teaching myself and learning on the fly. So, yeah, please follow me on Facebook, Process 34. That is Process, Process, the number 34, 34. Instagram, Process underscore 34. And once again, that is the number 34, 34. And I'm also on YouTube at Process underscore 34. That is the number 34. So please, please follow all my handles. Please follow me on social media. Look forward to upcoming content. And yeah, thank you for being with me on episode number 1. I can finally take a deep breath, a sigh of relief, and can't wait to share the next one. Have a good day.